We just got the November Institute for Supply Management Services index. It fell to 55.9, which is pretty much in line with what analysts had estimated. 55.9 still a relatively robust level. Remember, 50 is the line between contraction and expansion. Talk about that data point as well as the other numbers we got this morning, including jobless claims. We are joined by our Emily McCormick to break it down. Emily.
Hi, Julie. Well, I'll start with that report that we got from the Labor Department on new weekly unemployment claims, since we did see a bit of an equity market reaction to that report. Now, taking a look at that figure, we saw the first decrease in new jobless claims in 3 weeks. Remember that we did get those back-to-back increases in mid-November as COVID-19 cases hit records in the US and new business restrictions came into effect. So taking a look at those top line numbers, we had initial jobless claims for the week ending November 28th coming in at 712,000. That was lower than the 775,000 that had been expected, and also lower than the upwardly revised 787,000 we saw during the previous week. Now, by state, we saw two of the most populous states of California and Texas reporting major drops in unadjusted new claims last week, with those falling by about 39,000 and 16,000 respectively. But we did see really broad-based declines across the vast majority of states. Now, taking a look at continuing jobless claims for the week ended November 21st, that hit a 9-month low of 5.6 million. That was also better than expected and down from the just over 6 million reported for the previous week. Now, while this week's jobless claims report was stronger than expected, I do want to note that some of this could be due to the difficulty in adjusting for seasonality factors around Thanksgiving. And then looking ahead to the rest of November, there are some factors that we will have to keep in mind here, because at the end of the month, we are going to see those federal unemployment benefits authorized under Congress's CARES package actually expiring. And a couple of those programs do have pretty high numbers of individuals on them. These include the Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation and Pandemic Unemployment Assistance programs, which together provide benefits for more than 13 million Americans. So seeing how those stimulus negotiations we were just talking about with Rick play out is going to be important for the rest of this month. And then finally, I do want to turn our attention to the Institute for Supply Management Services Index. We just got that economic data point out a couple of minutes ago. As you mentioned, Julie, that did come in slightly higher than expected at 55.9 versus the 55.8 that consensus economists had been looking for. A slight moderation here from October's reading of 56.6. But at the same time, this was the 6th straight month that we saw the services industry, or the services sector rather, actually hold in expansionary territory with a reading over 50. So still holding up pretty strongly here, even in light of the surge in new COVID-19 cases we've seen throughout the month. Julie.
Emily, thanks so much for that comprehensive look at that economic data that we got out today. Appreciate it.